We explain why even in virtual communication, it's not what you say, but how you say it. In face-to-face conversations, we're accustomed to observing basic forms of conduct. In this sense, it is quite normal to address others by their name. However, when it comes to virtual communication, people tend to forget these basic rules. As a result, collaborative working suffers. This is true for Claudia. When she receives emails from her colleague Chris, she is often reluctant to open them. This is a big problem, since they are currently working together on a specific project. Because Chris is located at a different site, their communication largely takes place via email. On her part, Claudia takes great care over her choice of words and usually agonizes over her emails. Chris, on the other hand, tends to communicate quite casually. When he writes, he doesn't beat about the bush, without any polite salutations or even the correct punctuation. Most of the time, Chris doesn't even reference Claudia's prior emails, ignoring the concerns she has raised. Claudia gets annoyed by her colleague on a fairly regular basis. She views the fact that Chris takes such little care over his emails as a personal attack. Does he hold Claudia's work in such low esteem that he doesn't deem it necessary to compose proper emails? Even though the information received is factually correct, Claudia can't help taking it in the wrong way. However, appropriate communication, even on a virtual level, is quite simple. Just remember the everyday rules of communication, like in face-to-face interactions, and it's easy. This means that an email, just like a conversation in person, should always start with a friendly salutation and a short personal introduction. Then you can get to the point. It goes without saying that even in virtual communication, you should always close with a personal phrase. And of course, you should only ever write what you would be comfortable saying to someone's face. If conflicts or other strong negative emotions arise, it is always best to seek a face-to-face conversation. Since those who communicate virtually are unable to make eye contact with each other, it is all the more important to choose your language carefully. Writing styles lend color to the personal impression of the writer. This means that Claudia has a relatively poor image of the virtual Chris. However, this actually has nothing in common with her impression of the in-person Chris. It is important when writing to put yourself in the shoes of the recipient. Is my colleague currently under time constraints, new to the topic, or does he or she come from a different cultural background? This change of perspective helps to avoid misunderstandings and clears up any grey areas right from the outset. If you are unsure, or if an escalation seems to be brewing, just pick up the phone, as many issues can be solved quickly with a direct conversation. The in-person Chris is very popular among his colleagues, but now, ever since he has taken to heart the everyday forms of conduct with his virtual communication, he's also popular with Claudia, and collaboration with her is excellent. Now, he and Claudia work more productively together, and ultimately have more fun doing so.